Hi friends, welcome back to Playworld. We're bringing you some more Heroes of the Storm. Today we're bringing you some more pro level replays. This time we're coming back to the Americas. Over here on the left side of the screen we have Duality Gaming, composed of course of Zagara, Karazim, Johanna, Tarunda, that's her name, and Rainer. Of course, on the right side of the screen, we have none other than Doughboys, composed of Vala, Meriden, Malfurion, Jaina, and Tassadar. We're spawning here in the Cursed Hall. It looks like triple lanes down the middle for Doughboys, and of course, Duality is going to go for that 5-man push down the middle to see what happens, and then we'll see how they spread out. Let's go ahead and bring out the talent so you can see what's going on there as we get on the way. Pretty much, this map, if you're not familiar, 3 lanes, rarely a lot of rotation in the early game because of the fact that they're quite a long distance away from each other. They do have 2 sets of vision, one here on the top left and one in the bottom right, which each team takes respectively. Looks like Johanna getting caught there, does put out the blind. A little bit of an exchange there as the Hunter Killer goes down on Jaina and some roaches as well. But it looks like the red team's going to be able to back up here without not much issue, just a little bit of damage taken. They're ego bruised a little bit, and they're going to return 2 lanes. All on the top lane, Malfurion on the bottom. Strong presence here in the middle lane from Duality. They're going to begin to push this lane really aggressively. Tassadar basically throwing out some storms and releasing a little bit of experience, waiting for Jaina, who does lay out the blizzard, and with an incredible wave clear, ties things up, no problem, as they continue to engage here in the middle lane. It looks like Vernon waiting for a gank push. Nothing really exciting going on here. Malfurion in the bottom lane getting chased away by Johanna. It looks like he's going to be just fine, though, as they begin to poke, and of course, Zagara and Vala doing a little bit of a dance in the top lane. This is going to be a little bit difficult for Vala, but as long as she keeps harassing and poking, it should be okay. It looks like the red team trying to do a little bit of poke harass nonsense here. They are going to go for a little bit of a gank push, waiting for it. They're about to jump in really deep. It looks like Jaina going out. Great frostful hits. They're going to cold into the blizzard, in the Meriden stun. Tons of damage on top of the storm. Rainer taking a lot of damage, and he gets taken down. First blood. Barely 1 minute 14 seconds. He was a little bit out of position. Karazim really can't do anything to stop that, even though he does have that master skin. Now the rotation happening top. Looks like Tarunda walks into this bush. Tons of damage going out. There's the Kona Cold. Great stun into Meriden, but Jaina manages to sidestep it and gets the kill. That's 2 kills to 0 so far. The blue team in a lot of trouble as Tassadar continues to push this middle lane. Relatively aggressive. And there's really not much else Karazim can do but watch his teammates get killed. The gank squad heading to the bottom lane this time. It looks like Johanna and Malfurion doing a little bit of a dance. He seems to be okay. It looks like they're going to go again here for the gank push. However, Johanna sees it coming. The root misses, and he presses that D and will be able to get away because of the unstoppable frames thanks to his shield. Looks like Johanna is not going to kill today. They do miss that gank squad opportunity. Now they're rotating back once again to the middle lane. They have to be really careful. It looks like Tassadar again just waiting here, trying to bait a little bit. Oh, actually, never mind. It looks like going for some camps. However, on the top lane, Vala getting attacked a little bit, and Tarunda waiting here patiently for an opportunity to kill. That Hunter Killer doing a ton of damage. Is she going to go down? I don't know. It looks like Vala trying to come and be a little break, taking damage from the roaches. Here comes Tarunda. Oh, the stun misses because she does use that Volt defensively. And she manages to wiggle it away. Wants to maybe recall, but I don't think it's a good time because they're not going to be really gaining experience. Although the red team significantly ahead thanks to those skills so far. It looks like they do grab some giants on the bottom lane. That's going to begin to push at the exact right time because, of course, we have the first read of the game spawning right here in the bottom left. Looks like Johanna already in position, Malfurion as well. The blue team rotating down here into the middle lane, trying to gather themselves up together before they hit down. They learn, maybe. Meriden waiting for the gank push. It looks like he's going to run into Rainer. A little bit of damage going on there, but Rainer's just going to shoot him up. Here comes Vala doing a little bit of poke. There's the multi-shot. Tons of damage, but, of course, Meriden continues to chase. Johanna trying to come in here to intercept. Here comes Jaina. She walks a little too close for comfort, but does get a blizzard on Rainer, which moves him away. The root in the middle. The stun misses, and it looks like Zagara's going to be able to grab this tribute as her friendly team zones out, and nothing else is going to happen for that. It looks like even Tassadar saying, you know what, it's a little late. I'm sorry I missed it, but I'm going to go home. These giants are not really that effective. They did push the lane a little bit and poke the towers, but of course Johanna and Tarunda are going to be able to push them back. Here in the middle lane, though, Meriden missing that Stormbolt, getting punished by Rainer as continues to right-click and chase him. He doesn't want to go through the Thunderclap, though, and he looks like Meriden's going to get away. He is going to begin to heal thanks to his passive. Not a big deal. However, Jaina and Tarunda doing something a little bit scary here, a little bit of a dance. I don't know if she saw her. Looks like, ooh, Malfurion avoiding that stun. He does get condemned in, but here comes Jaina. The blizzard basically missing. Does a ton of damage to Tarunda, but very low herself. And of course, here comes Meriden to jump in as well. They're going to basically trade 1 for 1. No, it looks like Jaina's going to be able to get away. She begins to poke. Tons of damage. There's the Kona Cold. The root lands on Johanna, and that's a double kill. Great stuff there as Rainer makes it down here a little bit too late. And the next tribute is spawning on the top lane, so he just rotated for basically no reason. On the top, we see that Tassadar is going to... he chose to, storm out Tumor. I didn't see that at first. I was like, what is he doing? But his presence and Valis is enough to basically zone Karazim out. The rest of the red team coming in here. Tons of damage going on Vala. She does get shielded by Tassadar, the Hunter Killer. Whittling down that shield, but really not enough damage to just kill it outright. And it looks like the second tribute of the game is going to go for Doughboys. Fairly even so far, however, Doughboys, of course, with a lot more action with 4 kills to 0, heavy rotations, and of course, heavy damage. In fact, let's go ahead and look at that right now while nothing really is happening. We do have 4,471 hero damage for Vala, 3,351 for Zagara, and of course, siege damage-wise, Raynor 50,000 and Tassler 16,000. Let's go back to talents and make sure you guys know what's up. You can see there a little bit of analysis. Vala is going multi-shot with searing arrows. Meriden, pretty standard thunderclap, and then getting, of course, the piercing bolt so you can get more than one target CC'd. Anything else to note? It looks like our Tyrande is going auto attack. Our Raynor's going for that auto attack, which is, you know, what you'd expect. We'll see if he goes for double stun. And everybody else pretty standard. Monk going straight heals, and of course, the guy getting a little bit of creep tumor usage. It looks like for now they're going to be content just doing the same thing, soaking lanes back and forth. Here come the gank squad one more time, though, from behind of Jaina and Meriden. They're going to jump directly on this Tyrande, doing a lot of damage. The Konako gets both of them on top of the Blizzard. The Root Dust land, but a great stun on that Jaina is going to be able to get taking her down. And now, of course, it looks like Tyrande in a lot of trouble, but Meriden forced to walk back, taking a ton of damage. And he's really low, and Raynor misses that Q with the last second. Meriden making out of there with very little health as the next tribute spawns. They jump on him. They basically deny the healing, and Malfurion continue to pop out heals. I think they're going to surrender this tribute. This is a little bit dangerous. It looks like Karazim already in position. Maybe Tassler will come down here. Is he going to press D to get the vision? It looks like they're going to let him cap it a little bit. There comes the Storm to interrupt and stall a little bit, but the blue team here, Duality Gaming, imposing themselves, doing a lot of damage. They do jump on Malfurion, does the damage. The Condemn pushes him back, and oh my god, all the damage in the world. That stun gets him really low. However, Raynor already really low, as well as Karazim trying to dash back. Great Q to disengage. They get a kill there on Vala, and now they're pushing back a little bit, but it's still very low. Looks like Jaina continue to auto attack, doing a ton of damage. Does pick up the kill to Tyrande, but gets taken down in return, and Meriden, really low on health, gets taken down as well. And now Karazim and Johanna doing a really good bit of zoning here. And that was a pretty bloody exchange. 4 kills to 5 so far. Duality picking up the pace as they fight for the tributes. More team fighting means better results for them, it seems. It looks like they're going to go back here to the middle lane and continue soaking. They get that level 10, which means heroics. So far, we have Raynor with Hyperion and Johanna with Divine Shield. Let's see what the rest of the team picks. Of course, now that means Doughboys have to be really careful about the next couple engagements. Really low health Fury here on the top lane, although Vala manages to poke Johanna back. It looks like we're getting 7-sided strike on Maul. And then, of course, the only thing we're waiting for is that Tyrande ultimate. Let's see if she goes Shadow Stalk. I mean, she might be waiting to see what the enemy team does. It does not look like she's in a hurry to pick it or activate it. We do have Avatar, Tranquility, Water Elemental. Sorry, great stun in the 7-sided strike, doing a ton of damage. They do pick up the double kill in the top lane. While I was super distracted, we do have Force Wall from Tassadar, and of course that strafe from Vala is going to be able to do a ton of damage. It looks like our running into trouble here again. Tons of damage from the Blizzard. The Water Elemental, she goes out, but a great Maw saves her life, and she's going to try to walk away, though the Water Elemental slowing her down. It looks like Jaina really low on health. Thought about chasing directly, does move away. Great stunning come from her, and there it is, and they do pick up the kill on her and clean up for that embarrassment. It looks like they do win that exchange, but of course here on the top lane you have Raynor and Karazim pushing really aggressively as the next tribute spawns on the top left side of the map. It looks like the rotation is pretty severe. Johanna a little bit out of position. I don't know if they're going to engage for this. It looks like she's going to just walk away. Meriden going after her. She's going to get hit in the face there. And they do engage. The Blizzard comes out, does a lot of damage. But of course, Johanna going to walk away. The Frostbolt going to shoot her more. And here comes Karazim and Raynor trying to get in a better position. Tyrande as well, joining them before they get caught off. That was really fortunate for them. It looks like Raynor's going to begin by queuing and making sure they don't get hit. There goes the Starfall, doing a little bit of damage to slowing people out. It looks like we're going to begin to chase here in Jaina. Great Wall is going to pin Raynor in the back there. Tons of damage going on. Johanna forced back, but they do grab the tribute, and that's a curse. Even though the strafe is doing a ton of damage, the stun misses, and they continue to push back here. Raynor pushing more Qs. Meriden sticking to that Johanna like hot glue. He does jump on a Great Wall is going to stun her out. 7-sided strike completely obliterates Meriden, and of course, Johanna gets taken down. Although the red team is getting cursed right here, they're still pushing really aggressively. Jaina able to do that Cone of Gold, and that Blizzard, tons of damage. The wall would have been enough. They do pick up yet another kill. Karazim really low on mana, can't get away, gets taken down, and Raynor forced all the way back, even though the Water Elementals are shooting him over the wall. It looks like rather interesting there. They did get cursed. They're opting to go for some Giants here. Mercamps are important in this period of the game, because the Giants will be able to stall that lane for a little bit, so it won't get pushed aside. However, here on the top lane, this fort's likely to go down. Tassler going back here to deal with it. He does put out a shield. Will that be enough? It doesn't look like it. And of course, Zagara pushed that bottom lane thoroughly. That means 2 forts in 1 curse. Pretty good stuff. And of course, they're now dealing with this middle lane as well. The Raynor dealing with those Giants right there, which is going to allow his lane to continue to push. But of course, the top lane already pretty much pushed. all the way back. They might get this tower, but of course Meriden sitting there and auto-attacking. For the time being, it looks like our blue team is something to come in here and get some Mercamps. A little bit of a wasted curse, but if you think about it, they died, so, you know, you do the best you can. And for now, it looks like the red team is going to do the same and grab the bruises as well. Have this middle lane push both ways. Oh, it looks like already a play here for the boss. We do see Johanna get rooted there. Not a big deal, though. In the both teams content with simply just trading. Of course, remember, they do have a Tyrande. They can get a little bit of vision there. And they're going to be able to pick up the boss here relatively early. It looks like the red team is going to be able to pick up theirs without any possibility of the blue team making it here to steal any nonsense. So far, they trade evenly. However, of course, the boss does not have to deal with a fort in the bottom lane because that's a Gara push, which means this is going to be a little bit more dangerous for our red team in Doughboys. A big engagement about to happen here in the mid lane. It looks like Meriden jumps in. Gina jumping right in the back line onto Karasim. However, she's taking a lot of damage. Karasim jumps on her. Tons of damage. The Starfall's there. Great maul separating. Gina gets taken down. And now Johanna coming back. Meriden really low. Great stun from Tyrande. And the 7-sided strike picks him up. Malfurinos Wall getting taken down. And now Vala and Tessa are trying to run away. Johanna in the chase. Great owl hits him right in the face. But of course, he's a little bit too far gone to be picked. And he's going to be able to mount up. However, Vala gets caught out here. Karasim doing a little bit of damage. Here comes Tyrande. She does get the max range stun. And that is yet another kill. Now putting the kills at a total of 11 for Duality. And of course, 9 for Doughboys. It looks like the boss up here doing a little bit of damage to the fort. Might be able to take it down. They're going to deal with that. However, in the bottom lane, the boss already took out both towers. And now proceeding to BM the well. It's going to be able to take that out. And Tesla should be able to clean this up before he kills the keep. However, the damage is pretty much done. And if we look down here, we notice the Tesla does not have Mule, which is a problem. Oh, is Mule 16? I'm sorry, I don't play Tesla as often. You definitely know that. But it might be a good investment to make otherwise. It looks like right now a red team against the ropes, complete map control from the blue team. They're continuing to push every which lane. It looks like they're going to let them have these giants just because that was really risky to try to get them. But other than that, basically they're going to hold on to all their lanes. They're now pushing down the middle here to try to put a little bit of pressure. They're waiting for, of course, Tyrande, Raynor, and Zagara to come up. And the next three does spawn here in the middle right upper side of the map, and let's see how they deal with it. It is a really advantageous position for our red team if they get there in time. However, the blue team already setting up an ambush. Looks like Johanna going really deep in to make sure they get a little bit of vision. This fellow needs to be really careful with his Tasser. I'm sure they have D so they can be able to see, but it looks like Johanna going all the way in, and a great wall question mark is actually going to save them, but in reality it just allows the blue team to get a free tribute. Not a big deal though. It's only 1 instead of 3. It's not a curse. And it's not worth dying for. Looks like Meridian's going to go here in the middle lane and try to kill that tribute, a tumor. However, he does get chased back. And of course, he's forced to disengage by jumping over the wall, over those trees, and then the Tassel wall, just for extra security because they don't want to deal with that. It looks like our blue team's going to go down here in the bottom lane, deal with these giants, while the red team is just going to recover and try to soak a little bit of XP, get that 16 level talent so they can catch up in talent tiers. It looks like they are going to rotate to the top lane and do precisely that. We do have 2 minutes 32 seconds on the boss on this side, and of course pretty similar timing as they grab them together. But now the red team's splitting a little bit. Jane is out of position. If there's a team fight here, that's going to be huge because of the fact that blue team seems to be wanting to make an aggressive move towards the keep. It looks like they are going in right now. Super aggressive stuff. They are going to start killing the walls. I think they need to dive in there immediately. The roaches come out. They're going to tank the keep bullets. They're going to begin to do damage. Rainer's ultimate Hyperion going out to do as much damage. Tesser manages to shield the keep and starts doing a little bit of damage. Great wall. Zagara gets caught out of position. She also gets shrink rate, but the Maw saves her life. However, Vala doing a ton of damage with the Streep. Here comes the Starfall. Really crazy engagement. Looks like the red team taking a lot of damage though. Somehow Karasim managing to keep everybody up with the help of Tyrande. Of course, Water Elemental slowing Raynor down, but really not enough. I see it's still pretty much okay. It looks like Johanna's going to do a little bit of a shield cure, and they're going to split up, which is a little bit questionable. He's taking a lot of damage, just gets stunned by Meriden. Here comes the Root on top of the Blizzard. She's probably going to die, condemns a little bit to let her teammates get away. And it looks like Vala being really aggressive, but manages to get out of there with her life intact. Now the blue team has to reconsider fighting for this trade because the red team really strong. That stun is going to hit Meriden, but again, is just a gesture of ill intent. She continues to owl and just be completely bothersome for the sake of being bothersome. Of course, they're going to grab that tribute without much else for our blue team to do. It looks like that is 2 tributes to 1 right now. What's even more, Tassler and Meriden going to take the opportunity of a dead tank to come in here and begin to do damage. That wall is going to save them a little bit of time before the blue team can poke in here. But I don't think they're thinking about contesting these. Bruisers are going to let them have it. They're instead going to go for their own siege giants on the top lane, wait for them to leave, and then, of course, deal with it. It looks like Zagara actually being the designated person who's going to sit here and try her best to push these guys back because, you know, you can't really let them drain a lot of ammo, but they should die without doing much damage, and that should be all right. as the rest of the team joins here to clean up. The red team, though, grabbing their own bruisers as well. So not only did they deny the bruisers from the enemy team, they're going to be able to grab these and begin pushing the middle lane a little bit passively. Maybe even push behind it. It looks like Raynor trying to do his best to push here on the top lane and get these Giants moving in the right direction. They definitely need a little bit of pressure off of them on their side of the map. It looks like a big engagement about to happen here. Great stun right there on Karrasin, but of course the wall separates them, and Jaina wastes her Blizzard, but it's okay. Her cooldowns will be back. It's not a big deal. And now, just sort of playing a little bit of the waiting game, because the next tribute is pretty significant. Of course, red team with 2 tributes already, that would mean a curse. The boss is coming up momentarily here. We're going to keep an eye on that. And for now, it's just a matter of waiting to see what either team wants to do. Again, 11 kills to 10, fairly even. The tribute is spawning on the top left. How we're going to approach it. It looks like the blue team already get themselves in position. Duality getting a little bit of a gank push here within Johanna and Raynor. She's going to shield her and try to slow. Here come the Roaches. Great stun on Raynor. However, he does not have any follow through. And a 7-sided strike does a ton of damage. Meriden forces to pop Avatar, and that friendly wall almost gets him killed. It does manage to jump over it, but the root really not enough to stop the enemy team, and they do pick up a free kill on Meriden. Really out of position, and they should be able to grab this tribute absolutely no problem. Johanna going for the boss. Really risky maneuver here. But hey, if they manage to pull it off, it would be huge because of the fact that they will have the tribute that is 2 curses to 2. 2 tributes to 2. The next one gets the curse. And they're grabbing this without the enemy team simply doing anything. Tesla should be able to see this before they lose any sort of vision. It looks like Jaina does pop that Q to look at them, but a little bit too late, even though Vala gets a little bit of free damage over the wall. The blue team manages to get the boss, and now the red team really in a bad position because this boss is going to begin to push. Of course, they're going to go to the other boss, and there's not much else they can do. Let's go ahead and take a look at damage so far. It looks like our red Vala with 30,000 hero damage, leading the pack there, and Raynor with 29,994, not too far behind. Siege-wise, Tacitor and Raynor keeping up the lead there on the blue team, and of course, healing and tanking. You can see the numbers for yourself there a little bit. Of course, Karrasin with a little bit of a higher number, as is to be expected because of his passive. It just gets him naturally high numbers, and of course, Tyrande doing a pretty good job, even though she's definitely playing offensively. It looks like they are waiting for the next tribute to spawn before they grab the boss. She's going to secure it right now. They're lucky enough with the position to be right there. And Johanna in a little bit of a bad spot here, but she should be able to delay enough for them to actually get the tribute. She's going to jump in there, shield glare, get Tesla off his mount, and then begin to run back. Great little combo there from Jaina. Does a little bit of damage, forces the D in case he was going to get caught. Here comes the Hyperion, tons of damage going out. The wall separating the backline of the blue team, and Johanna taking a brutal amount of damage, but she just gets shielded and walks away. The strafe a little bit wasted. Looks like a great maul on Meriden and Tesla. They're going to dive in really deeply. Here comes the Condemn on Jaina. Tons of damage on Malfurion, forcing the ice block. It looks like our friendly Johanna does that. However, Malfurion goes down immediately after. The red team really low. Ooh, that stun barely misses, and now Zagar chasing Jaina, turning back, and then of course the Esser wall just waiting to chase. But they do get cursed, and they have a boss barreling down their core. This is not a great time to be Team Doughboys right now, because they got to deal with this boss, and of course in the front of their base they have the blue team barreling down here. Duality going to take out the towers, going to take out the walls, and then probably push in. All of our red team members opting not to really heal. It looks like Jaina does hit up a well. They're very low. If there's an engagement here, they're really not an advantage, because even though the blue team does not have Johanna, the red team does not have Malfurion. That's a healer, arguably a little bit more important because of the fact that Karrasin can poke in, they can dash out, and of course Tyrande with a great stun. And Raynor are really tanky for an assassin, but it looks like instead of actually going for anything crazy, you're going to opt to get the keep and then rotate to the top, begin pushing these towers. It looks like the red team trying to do a little bit of poke. Here comes Jaina, which is the bulk of their burst damage, but she's taking a lot of damage in the 7-sided strike, softening both her and Meriden up. However, they both managed to get away there relatively unscathed, and Tesla just putting a wall and saying, please leave us alone. That's just mean, man. And of course, it looks like Duality is just going to get out of here. Zagara recalling back in a relatively safe distance. I don't think the red team is going to be venturing out after they just saw all that go into the jungle. And they go back to a period of relative ease, relative calmness, as the blue team is going to begin to pick up some mercenary camps here in the Bruisers. We suspect the red team is going to pick up their giants as well, if the time allows, just to basically loosen a little bit of pressure. The blue team with way too much dominion. Of course, they only lost the top fort. They still have the middle fort, although they did lose the tower, and the bottom fort relatively untouched. They did lose a little bit of a wall, and the tower took some damage, but basically a really strong positioning here is going to allow them to basically dominate this game, because they have catapult pressure in the middle and bottom lanes, which means that the right team can't afford to let those go unpunished for long, particularly if they don't grab these bruisers. It looks like Meriden and Vala circling down here. Maybe there will be an engagement here. The blue team making an aggressive play. This is kind of a throw pit event. If they do lose this fight, they could lose the game. Really ballsy, however, Tesser went in there. He does wall Johanna. She's taking a lot of damage. He does condemn, popping that D to get away. The Hyperion comes out. Tons of damage. And Raynor just moving forward, attacking the Starfall as well. They do come in here, Muradin trying to grab them, but the same side strike is too strong. Gets wiped out. The Condemn on all the squishies. Jaina really low, manages to blink away, and that Tranquility keeping them alive, but they took a lot of damage, and they're out their heroic abilities. It looks like Violet's going to try to come in here and try to poke, but it looks like the blue team is looking for blood. Johanna taking a ton of damage, gets Shrink Raid, and begins to advance. Presses that T completely getting destroyed, but Kerosene managing to keep her afloat. And of course, Tyrande as well. And now Great Moss actually going to body block Jaina from going back. And she's going to take a lot of damage. When Fury comes back, the roots do land on Johanna. She's going to get taken down on all likelihood. Although Indestructible does pop at the last second. That is going to be good game. As the game goes to our blue team, which is Duality Gaming. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Al. I hope you enjoyed that video. And I will see you all next time.